Okay. So we talked about Ansible yesterday a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and work on it. And this is Z. Uh, can you want to show me the error you're getting?
वो हमारे दोस्त के कंप्यूटर पे कर रहा था तो उनका सिस्टम है मगर वो पता नहीं कई और वो आपके पूरे सिस्टम फॉलो करा पे क्या रीजन है वो आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड।
उसको इंस्टॉल करें आप।
हाँ पूरा इंस्टॉल किया हम जीरो से स्टार्ट करा मैं पूरा।
अच्छा, पूरे स्टेप्स फॉलो हुए वो जैसा इंस्टॉलेशन हो रहा।
हाँ हाँ
अच्छा, पता नहीं, आप बायोस में जाके देखो, उसके अंदर एनेबल्ड रहेगा 64 बिट।
वो वर्चुअलाइजेशन भी इनेबल करे इनेबल था वैसे पहले से। पार्टीशन का कुछ बोल रहा ना उसके अंदर जो भेजा आपको उसमें
अच्छा,
WHV सेटअप पार्टीशन फील्ड बोल के बोल रहा।
वो तो ऑटोमेटिक कर लेता वो जब एक बार। अच्छा, आप साइज कितना दिया हार्ड ड्राइव का?
हार्ड ड्राइव तो 500 GB की है।
नहीं नहीं, आप जब क्रिएट कर रहे हैं फर्स्ट टाइम वीएम, तो वीएम का 8 GB रहती है ऑटोमेटिक, तो कितना रखे आप?
सिक्स वो 16 करें हम।
अच्छा,
दो दोस्त बैठ के पढ़ रहे हैं हम लोग तो उनके सिस्टम पे करके
अच्छा,
देख देख रहे थे हम लोग।
ओके। तो yum install -y. It's only on Ansible master, right? Next thing is, I'm gonna clear this. Next thing you do is yum install EPEL release -y. So EPEL release, ये जो है ना, it's a Python. It's related to Python, so it will install that EPEL release. So just yes and hit enter. Okay, last one. Yum install Ansible -y.
So that EPEL is a Python utility, sir?
I think so, yeah. But these are the requirements, so you have to update those.
Okay.
And now we are installing Ansible.
Okay.
Okay, so Ansible is installed only on master. Okay, so if you look at the diagram, we have only Ansible installed over here. So what I'm going to do is okay. Okay, so we have four. This is for Austin and Haruni. You missed yesterday. So what I did was I cloned 5 servers here so that we work on 5 servers. Okay. Ansible is a configuration management. So you could do configuration on from one server. You could manage multiple servers actually. So I have these 5 servers running here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so and then there is a master here, Ansible master. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna clear the screen, and very first thing we're gonna find out is Ansible -- release version actually. And what it does is it will should see a latest version here. There is a new updates keep coming so often here. So what is this message here? I'll explain you. Okay. So when you do this here, this is the This is the version. Okay, and this is the configuration file. Okay, and these are the location of the modules here. I'm not worried about that. Ansible Python modules. So it's giving you good information here, but most of the time this is what you're going to deal with. Configuration file. And when you type Ansible, so anytime you run a command, it actually runs the absolute link for that command, right? If you type pwd, the location of that pwd is, it's actually running this command here. It's running from here. If you run this, it does the same thing. Your favorite ls, you run the ls command, right? So, but if you run which ls, it's actually running this command here. It would be the same exact result, okay? Give me your favorite command. What is your favorite command?
Uptime. Uptime.
Uptime. Okay, when you type uptime, it gives you this here, right? But if you type which uptime, I should have said that like start of this class here. It's actually executing from here. You would literally copy this and put it in here, and it's gonna run the command, okay? Because user bin, I think when I mentioned about the directory structure, this is where all the commands are sitting. If you delete a command from here, you won't be able to run the command. Which, sorry, I have to work last night, so I was sleepy. But if you install any new command, it's going to go and sit in this place, okay? There are a lot of commands in here. Mount, umask, uname. Strap run, all these are in there, okay? So I don't even know what those commands are. I mean, operating system is pretty complex, right? Would you agree? A lot of things in here we're not using every day.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move forward here. So what you're gonna do is okay, what I'm gonna do is let's go into the Ansible config file here. So if I do vi etc ansible ansible.config. Okay, this is the configuration file where you could manage the behavior. Okay, so it's not going to make sense at this point here. We'll come back to this actually. This is like an informational. So like you could do a lot of customization, colors and all that here, but the important thing is so these from here to here, the basic default values, these are important here. Okay, so all these are turned off. Fork means you could at this moment you could manage 5 servers, but you could change it. And a sudo user root as sudo pass and all that here. Let's work on it before we understand what this is. So I'm gonna say you can make Ansible configuration or behavioral changes to Ansible in the file. Okay, actually, in fact, let me copy these and I explain you how the system is working here, some of the default. Okay, so what you do is there is this host file. By default, what Ansible does is it goes in there and reads this file here. It looks up for the by default this file is read for the list of servers. And by default it manages manages 5 servers at a time. Okay, but you could change this. You could change this depending on your network strength here. Poll interval, I'll come back to that. User, we're going to use root. Okay, so I'm going to save this here. I'm not saving in here anymore, inside the file here. So what I have is, this is a master and these are the clients. Okay, and the master. Okay, now now what we need to do is we need to establish the one-time connection here. We need to establish one-time connection so that next time when we make a connection, it doesn't have to ask for the password. All right, everybody remember the SSH connection, the passwordless? So what I'll type here is SSH. Okay, so these are Ansible here. There are 5 clients and it's doing the SSH here. Okay, let's see. Establish SSH passwordless connection. Okay, everybody know passwordless connection, right? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is let's go back to our document here from earlier. So I showed you about how to set up SSH. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we did SSH is connecting between one server to another server, right? So now what we did is we did SSH and it will ask you for the password here. So we're gonna set it up as such. It does not ask us for the password here. Okay, so let's follow this. What we have already done. So the very first thing it's telling me to do is SSH keygen, okay? So you run the command. So what will happen here is if you do ls-la, uh-oh, why do we have so many?
Because aren't we looking at it from the master server?
No, these are the script from my last class. Okay, so if I do ls-la, okay, so we have what I'm gonna do is so what we'll do is right now there it will create a hidden folder here and called .ssh. It was already there. Since this was an old system I'm using, I want to make sure it doesn't exist, but if it exists, don't worry about it. Okay, so let me clear this. I'm going to copy the command ssh -keygen. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll hit enter. It says generating public and private key. Okay, what is doing here is generating public and private key. What it does is public and private key are part of one key. It's a one key, and then the little bit part is public and other part is private. So mathematically it's one key. Okay, and I'll hit enter here. It's asking for the paraphrase, so I'm not going to do that. Hit enter, and it says enter the same paraphrase, so I don't need to. I'll just hit enter. So what it does is your identification has been saved into the folder. So it now creates a hidden folder. It now creates a hidden folder, and it created two keys. One is a public key right here. This one is a public key, and other one is a private key. Okay, this one. These keys are the token keys that is gonna use it to establish the connection next time. Okay, and you hit enter here too. Okay, and it created a public key. Public key, I'm gonna put it as a bright green. So this is where the key is sitting, okay? And the private part of the key is this one here. This is the private key. Okay, now what I'm going to do is clear this. Let me go into cd/root/.ssh. Okay, and if I do ls-l a, so what we have is the folder is hidden, the files are not hidden. So we have the private and public key here. So I'm going to copy this and put it in a document here. So here's the key. And here's the another key here. So this is a public key. It has .pub in it. That means it's public key. And the private key is okay. Now let's get the private key here. It's a big alphanumeric number, okay? See, this is a alphanumeric number. And other is, so private key and public key are part of one key, and then it's a continuation of the key here. So when somebody sends a message and they also include your public key, that's how you verify the connection, okay? The public key will be shorter in size. Okay, the size of the public key is shorter than the size of the private key. See, there is no chance that this could be, this key could be faked, okay? Look at how big the key is. Pretty big.
Mr. Zafar, is there a way we can encrypt the key?
This is what encryption is.
Oh, it's encrypted.
It's already, look at this here, alphanumeric numbers here. I mean, it's gonna throw off any encryption in the world. In fact, if you want to become this cryptographer, that's what it's called. That's a very high-paying job, and you have to be very good at math. Everything in the computer world comes down to math, okay? Or as a life in general, everything comes down to boils down to a math. If you want to make good money, it's a mathematical number, right? The dollar amount and all that.
Yeah.
So this key is like going beyond. Okay, so the private key is very big, and then the public key is big. So when the information is exchanged, both keys come together and confirms that it is in fact a key. Key belongs to each other. That's what it is. Let me see. Have you ever went into a bank locker? When you go into a bank locker,
Like
do,
like a vault?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean, if you have like a bank locker, private locker, you want to access your locker, right?
Mm-hmm.
What will happen? You take your key with
Uh,
you,
yeah.
and a banker will have one key,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So to open the key, the banker have to put his key, and then you have to put your key. So there is no way banker would open the key without your key. Uh, okay, right here you could see here 107. It has two keys here. One key belongs to you, the other key belongs to the banker. Okay. The
Mm-hmm.
banker comes here, turn his key on, and then let you do in, and it says customer key, and that looks ridiculously simple here.
Mm-hmm.
You could fake it right there. Uh, yeah, you get the idea how this bankers is working here. So every banker lock has two locks in it, one for you and other for the banker. So you have to turn it on, and then you get the safe deposit box in there. So it's the same concept.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same concept of communication here. Okay. Well, I mean everything is hackable. The reason being is created by people, right? I mean people could manipulate on your own. I mean your security is as good as your security is to prevent others. If you're gonna break your own security, who's gonna stop you? Right. So that's what it is. Okay. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna establish and keep the password one-time passwordless connection between the servers. Okay. All right. So let's see how we're gonna do. Uh, SSH keygen. I'm not worried about that. So what I'm gonna do is next, if I, you know how SSH works, right? When you go from one server to another server, it's gonna ask for the password here. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna set it up as such it doesn't ask us for the password here. So we're gonna do this part here. So I explained all this here, host name. Okay, so we're gonna run this command here, pass ssh-copy-id and then the host name. So this time we're gonna copy it from, so we're gonna copy it from the server on the left. We're gonna copy it from the server on the left to all the 5 servers on the right here. So each time we're gonna go in there, it will not ask you for the password next time. That's what the idea is, okay?
So, Mr. Zafar, we just need to know the IP address.
We need to know the IP address or the name of the server.
Okay.
Okay, since we don't have a DNS set up, we just gonna get off with IP for now. Okay, so I have already captured the IP address because I went into each server and got the IP address here, okay? So these are the 5 IP addresses I'm going to run the command on. So what will happen is I'm going to clear this cd clear. The command is ssh okay, so the word ssh copy. If you do a regular SSH, for the very first time, it will ask you for the password here. So let's see here. If I go into my, this is okay. Now which one is the assignment server? Okay, so if I go into this assignment server for the very first time, what it'll do is it will ask me for the password. It will automatically ask us for the password here. See, it's gonna do this. And you say, are you sure? Yes. Okay, and then I'm gonna provide the root password. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna exit. And then if I go back in there again, it's not gonna ask the details again. It will ask the password each time. So each time it's gonna ask the password. So what I want to do is next time I don't want to give the password each time here. If I'm like doing the automation, if I'm working on 10 computers is okay. If I'm working on 100 computers simultaneously, you're not going to go there and sit there and then put the password 100 times, right? It's ridiculous. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do copy ssh-copy -id, and then I'm going to copy to this server here, okay? So normally you type root at and name of the server, and I'll hit enter. Okay, so it has exchanged. Look at it has exchanged the copies. It did exactly what I have in here. It took that public key from this folder. Oh, not here. So it took public key from this folder here, right? It took this one here. Okay, and then it took that. Okay, so right here, in fact, it's showing you here. It took that copy and then put it into the same folder on the other side. Okay, and then I'm going to put in a password. Okay, now what I'm going to do this, it shouldn't ask me for the password here, okay? All I have to do is do this. Boom, it didn't ask me for the password. Everybody noticed that, right? So if I do this, it's not going to ask me for the password because we have already exchanged the password keys, the token keys.
So is this TCP protocol? I mean TCP?
SSH is a TCP, yes. That's a very good question, if it's a TCP or not. Yeah, it is.
And you said it takes the password from the one folder and it puts it in the other server. The other server is the server that we're working on.
Yes.
Okay.
And then, so the idea is to not to have a server bug for a password each time we gotta go in there. This is how it's gonna be set up in the job environment, okay? See, it's not asking for the password.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have already established a trust.
So where's the password at on our server? Is it stored somewhere?
No, these two keys.
No, that's it.
Yeah, these two keys, it get copied over into the other server here. So if I go in here, so I'm gonna exit here. And let me open the new session. Okay, so it didn't ask me for the password here. So what server one did is, so the server on the left copied its public key onto the server on the right here. So if I go into cd.sh, if I do ls-la, so you have the RSA ID and then the public key, right? So if I do cd.ssh, if I do ls-la, what it does is the public key, if I cat the public key, goes and sits into the authorized keys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, look at this. This is mathematically the same exact key. Even if you eyeball it, it looks the same here. How do you verify? Look at this part here, about only this part here until QN. All this looks the same exact key. So the key is exchanged here. Next time the connection is made, it verifies this connection. And even it says the name of the server.
So it just reads the authorized keys.
Yeah.
When you're doing when it's looking for the IP.
Now, if you have more servers in here, this is going to get bigger and bigger. It's going to be more lines in here. So if you have like 100 servers in here, there'll be 100 entries in here. Did you get
We are putting all this information in the master, sir.
What do you mean master? Master is on the left.
So we are copying all the information in the master server, right?
Now from the master, we're copying it to the let's do this here. If you are an apartment owner, right? You have so many apartments, right? And you have a key for the apartment. You could go into the apartment. You have 100 apartments. You could go in there with your master key anytime, whenever you want, without asking the password. without going in there, without asking. I mean, the apartment people, they have authority to go into your room, home, right? If they have some kind of work being done and all that, so they have the key.
Yes.
So what we're doing is we copying this key onto the remote server, and it could be 100. So we putting the key in each server, and each time you go in there, it's not going to ask you for the password. It's not going to stop you because you have already established the trust. All right, so let's move this here. I'm going to exit out of this assignment. Let's really do it. So now what I'm going to do is from the left server, from the left, I'm going to copy my key from the left server to each servers here. Next time, all 5 servers will not ask for the password, okay? Let's do that. And let's look at the IP addresses for each server. Where is it? So I have so what I'm going to do is cd clear. I'm going to do SSH copy -ID, and then I'm going to say root at 192.168.56.151. Okay, when I do this here, the first server on the top is going to connect there. And then here's the thing here. Here it's exchanging the keys. You want to do yes. And here's the password is going to ask for one last time.
This is the first time.
Yeah, this is the first time because it's going to print all this here. Okay, with the new keys to filter out any that are already exist. Now it's asking, this is the only time it will ask for the verification of the password. You have verified the password. Next time it will not ask for the password here, okay? So let me just copy this part here.
Passwordless connection लिखे रहा no establishing
Passwordless, yeah.
connection भी लिख दीजिए आप.
Okay. All right. So
तो यहाँ पासवर्ड क्या दिया आप?
इसका जो भी होस्ट का पासवर्ड है वो देना पड़ता है आपको फर्स्ट टाइम. नॉर्मली सेम पासवर्ड रहता. मैं रेड हैट देता.
Okay.
Password is whatever password you have set up for this host. You have to give that. I'm not creating a new password. It's asking you for the password the first time. Okay, so give me 1 second here. Okay, this is too much information, so I'm going to squeeze it down a little bit. Okay, so this is the command you ran. Okay, you ran this command here, okay? And it goes through all that. Over here you have to type yes. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is okay, so the connection is established now. Now if I do for this IP 51, I'm gonna clear this. If I do SSH, it's not gonna ask for the password here. Boom, it will go in directly because the trust is established already. It's slow, I don't know why is it slow. Okay, look at it here. It logged into a box that says Oracle. Now we are in this master here, okay? All right, so I'm gonna exit out of here and then I'm gonna repeat that for all of them.
एक क्लास में समझना मुश्किल है सब लोग।
क्या बोले?
एक क्लास में पूरा समझ में आना मुश्किल दिख रहा बोलो।
भाई अब 6 फिगर सैलरी दे रहे हैं तो ये सब करना पड़ता भाई। Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna repeat this real quick here. It's the same exact process here, okay? I'm gonna bring this up 52. Yes. So it's copying the file now.
Copying the file from client to master or master to client.
Master to client.
Okay, master to client. Got it. Now the client password. Okay.
अब देखो ये कॉपी हो गया ना। अब मैं सिर्फ SSH करता हूँ उसमें
to 152. Yeah.
नहीं, ये मैं गलती करा यहाँ पे। SSH कॉपी होना चाहिए। ओके, इसके अंदर आ गया एग्जिट।
So the master server holds all the keys basically.
Yep.
No, here's the thing. Every server, you could make every server gives out the master. Every server has a private and public key. But in this case, we are doing only one directional. Okay, so we are going from one server to another server. So we are sitting in one master and then setting into another server.
Okay.
But
So
if you want to go into this server to this server, then it's the same exact process.
Okay.
Basically, we have to put the copy command.
हाँ कॉपी कमांड डालना है. ओके अब मैं डायरेक्ट SSH करा इसमें. If I do look, it's not going to ask for the password. That's the important thing. Why is it so slow? I cannot understand. See, look at the name here. It was this name and the name has changed.
Yeah, we already in.
Okay, so now I'm going to do it to 53.
इसको कॉपी कर दीजिए ना सब. नहीं ठीक है.
Okay, so now, yes, it's copying the key now. Red Hat. Okay, clear. I'm gonna do to 62. I'm gonna do it to 63.
Mrs. Zafar, were you putting in the password again?
I'm putting in the password, whatever password you have for these servers on the right, you have to give that specific password. Normally, I just keep the password Red Hat. I'm not giving any specific established password or new password. What I'm doing is, whatever the server already has that password, you have to give it.
But it's not showing up.
No, the password, when you type password, it won't show up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit.
All right. So let me clear history. So you see, we did the SSH copy in all these servers here. So
151, 152, 153, 62, 63. Yep.
So wait, Mrs. Zafar, what was the password? Is it the Red Hat?
for me, Red Hat, whatever you keep for those servers,
Okay. Because it was encrypted, so it made. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. My bad.
do it for a few times, buddy. You will get it. I'm telling you, it's not a rocket science.
Yeah, my bad. Okay, makes sense. It's just that the encrypted password it made me forget.
Okay. Yeah, I might as well do this here so that you don't get confused.
Did the Zafar Mohiuddin master password?
What? I didn't hear you.
If the server
You're breaking up.
Is it something about the server?
What? I cannot hear you, buddy.
it's the connection. established, and the server can manipulate the master network.
के लिए डलवाया, इतनी वो ऐसे आए थे जैसे वो कोई पुलिस मुकाबले के लिए।
Okay, so okay, now what we're gonna do is on the master, let's do the file that you'd keep the track of all the servers. You need to be able to use it. What you do is, what file is that? Here, this is a default. By default, this is read for the list of servers here. Okay, so I'm gonna go into VI etc Ansible host. Okay, these are all the list of hosts. You could do it here, so I'm gonna delete them. Okay, in here, what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna put only the IP addresses in here.
ऑटोमेटिकली एंट्री नहीं होती साहब इस पे।
क्या और क्या ऑटोमेट कर रहे हैं भाई?
No, अब ये होस्ट फाइल में अपन जाके we are putting the IP addresses ना।
हाँ, ये कंप्यूटर में होस्ट फाइल्स एक्सट्रैक्ट करके, नॉर्मली एक्सेल में रहती है, एक्सट्रैक्ट करके कॉपी पेस्ट कर देना इसमें, दैट्स इट.
अच्छा,
Okay, so we have 5 servers in here, right? We're gonna save and exit. Okay, so what will happen is we have, then let's do the let's run a command. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, before I forget, okay, and you do this. So you delete all the content and just simply put in the IP addresses. Okay, that's it. look at one is missing there. It will cause problem. Okay, now, so you every time you're gonna run the command, you have to say Ansible. You have to say Ansible because you have to execute the command, which Ansible it's gonna run from there. user/bin/Ansible. I just mentioned this earlier. So I'm gonna say Ansible. I'm gonna say all -m ping. So I'm gonna have to explain you what this is. This is a module. So I'll explain that in a minute here. So what it's gonna do is Ansible all ping by default is gonna automatically go into this file and then ping all these servers here. Okay, I'm gonna hit enter. Okay, so if you're getting something like this, that means the ping is working. All green. Okay, so we have it says success. That means the ping command is working for us. So I'm gonna copy this. Ansible all -m ping. Okay, so what Ansible did is it's a Red Hat product. So what they did is they have already done a hard work for you in the background. Okay, so this is the command. All means all the servers, all the servers in /etc/ansible/host file. So it's gonna read through that file and then it will ping all the servers in there. Okay, M is a module, so Ansible created a module so that it's an internal part of internal command related to Ansible. And then ping is a regular ping command. Did you get it?
Yes.
Give me your favorite command if you want to run it. Okay, before that, let me put the output here.
Suppose we're having here 5 servers. If we want to access 2-3 servers, can we do that too?
Yeah,
Instead of accessing 5 all?
Yeah, I'll show you. There is a workaround there.
Okay.
So when you get something like this, that means it's successful here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the shell module. Okay, so I'm going to say Ansible all -m means module. What module you want to use? I want to use a module shell here. This is what I use all the time. -A, that means it indicates this is need to be used, and I'm going to say uptime. Okay, so this actually goes into double quote. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit enter. Okay, so there you go, the uptime command come up. So if you type uptime here, this is exactly what the uptime commands comes up to. Can you see, can you relate this here? Instead of now you could connect to 5 servers simultaneously and it gave you the uptime here. If you want to imagine, if you want to get the uptime for 100 servers, does it save your day? It saves your day, right? It went in there, and then
Yes.
the very first initial setup for any product is going to be painful. Once that is done, then you are able to use this. So use Ansible all -m shell -a, and then you put an uptime in there. It logged into all these servers, 5 servers, and it did the uptime command, and it brought you the result. Let's do lsblk.
Look at my mind.
There you go. It's by getting the lsblk from each server here. So it's actually, in fact, giving you the IP address. That way you know how to do this. Okay, so I did lsblk. Now what do you want to do? You want to do ls? Let's do ls. You're doing ls on 5 servers here. In reality, you'll be doing it on hundreds of servers. See, it ran through ls and gave you the result. You want to do your favorite DFF and H?
So all the time you have to write the command in the Ansible
Yeah, that's
with
the
the
command.
Ansible.
That's the command. Shell, once you say shell, whatever, keep everything the same, and then whatever command you want to run, as you would run on the single server, just put it there, and it will run it on for you on all the servers. Okay, let me clear this. And so let's see here. What is this gonna do? Init 6.
Restart.
Yeah, it's gonna restart all the servers here. So let me go ahead and hit enter. So you could watch, they're gonna restart right in front of your eyes. Okay, so there you go, you have all the servers here.
Yep.
So if you do this on a production server without any reason, you're gonna get in big trouble. So don't,
Out of the building.
yeah, I'm telling you, just don't do the restart for no matter what. Make sure you have authorization.
Just out of the building, nothing else.
Or if you want to get fired, then You could do that too. Okay, so it's there. Now what I'm gonna do is, you got the idea, right? You could fill in any command you want here. I want to get the memory information. Bring that command back up and then change it here. And then you say free-h. Here's the thing, on your job, almost all the servers, if not all the servers, at least group of hundreds of servers are same exact clone. Okay, so that's why you are able to manage it better. They would have, if the server is in the, if the cloud, if you have like if you're working for database and they have 200 servers, right? Most of the time, almost all of the time, their servers is going to be same exact servers. So they would have same exact size of RAM, same exact size of hard drives, configuration, same exact hardware, software. So it will make it easier for you.
All these internet companies.
Give me a command we have not already used.
Type in LA.
LA?
Or L, yeah.
LS-LA? What do you want me to type?
LS-L.
LS-L.
बड़ा कमांड आ गया.
Okay, it's gonna go and do the LS-L. There you go. It's bringing LS-L on all the servers here for you. Okay, and if you want to put it in a file, how are you going to put it in a file?
क्या?
You do output.txt, something like that, and hit enter. It's not going to show you on the screen. It will create a file, output.txt locally there. So, see, you didn't see anything on the screen, right? There you go. And if you go to output, and that's your output there. And it separates that with the IP address. Any other command? Let me run my favorite one is a host name. I always want to know what host this is. Okay. Any more questions?
the internet on please. Minutes.
I don't know, man, what you're saying. Your sound there's a lot of static in there. Okay, now what we could do is we could do the grouping also. Grouping the server list. Okay, so let's go back into our favorite file vi etc Ansible hosts. Okay, I'm gonna go in there, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a group here. So very first group I'm gonna say is the you could do Chicago. You have to do square brackets, okay? And then over here we'll do New York. I think you have to keep one word, New York. And let's do the last one as Dallas. Okay. So in this example, we have only 2, 2, 1 here. So in here, you could have hundreds in there, okay? You could have hundreds in there. So how do you run this command here? So what we're going to do is, let me do this here. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is everything is going to be similar here. So instead of all, what you do is you type Chicago here. And what it'll do is it will filter out only 2 servers in there, since only 2 servers. So I hit enter, is going to ping, go and get the name for the 2 servers. See? And even tells you the IP address there. And
Or the DNS name, right? If there was one.
Yeah, this one that do have DNS names here, database and Oracle. But the DNS is not set up here. Over here, once the DNS is set up, you could put actually instead of IP name, you could put a DNS name. We'll take a look when the DNS is set up, okay? We'll come back.
Is the DNS and the host name the same thing?
No.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Host name. Yeah, so this name is assigned manually assigned. This is manually assigned to each other, and then these 2 names, these 2 are made entry into the DNS phone book. DNS is nothing but a phone book, and that's how it recognizes it.
Right. Okay.
If I have your number saved, it's going to recognize your number. If I put your number saved as wrong number in DNS, it's going to give the wrong information, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, so let's do that to New York. I don't even know why this is so slow. And what I'm gonna do is Dallas, I'm gonna reboot so that you could see out of that it's not gonna mistake, because it's gonna do exactly what you're telling it to do. So if you're telling it the server listed under the group Dallas, you want to reboot, it's gonna reboot that server. So probably it's the bottom one here. Let's take a look. The bottom one is going to reboot. So bottom one is rebooting. All right, you see how this could be fun, and how easily you could manage it here and run several simultaneous commands on several servers here. You can, if you, in fact, we could even do LVM on this here. There are ways, multiple ways you could do almost everything. Almost everything we did in Linux, you could do it using Ansible on many servers. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 5 more minutes before I shut this. Use a specific file instead of etc ansible host. Okay, you don't want to use this file here, it's kind of risky. You want to use your own file here, right? So let's do, what you're going to do is vi my servers, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in there now. Okay, so how do I run this? Instead of specifying, so you clear this, so you run this command. If you run this command, it will automatically go for the vi etc host file. But if you want to specify a file, what you want to do is you want to do all hyphen I. That means I stands for input file, and then I'm going to say give my servers name of the file. Since the file is located here, it will pick up from the present working directory. If the file is located somewhere else, you have to give the location of the file. So if I do this here, it's going to restart all the servers here. I don't have it. Okay, so the servers are restarting here, right? So you are specifying a specific file instead of Ansible configuration file. All means everything, and then if you don't say all, if you specify so here this part you are specifying the specify the file, okay? So now if I want to do instead of file, I want to do Chicago. And my servers, I want to get like host name here, so it's gonna do the same thing. I'm busy, I have a class. Okay. So it's gonna go through in there and then do it whatever I need to do. So normally this is how I use. I don't go into the host name file here. You just go in there, and then specify a specific file because each time you will be working with different servers. You know, so it's less riskier than using the host file there. Okay, you got the idea.
Yeah.
Slow.
Okay, so now, so if you're doing like all here, by default is going to do 5 connections at a time, okay? So what I'm going to do is, this is for you, Hafiz Sahab. You were asking if you want to do only 3.
ग्रुप बना दिया तो हो जा रहा ना साहब उसमें.
Either group हो रहा है या whatever. So, but if you want to do like only 3 at a time.
Yeah, just we have to use New York, huh?
So 3 at a time, you do this here. Let's do Ansible all. Here I'm going to do all. Then this list of server name. And then the command. Okay, now I'm going to say -F3. -F stands for fork. So it's going to use 3 connections at a time.
So which connection it is not mentioning there?
It's going to do all the connections. If you say all, it's going to take all of them. So it's going to do 3 connections at a time.
Just three at a time.
Yeah. So it did 3, then it's waiting now. It did another 3, and then since we have only 4, 5, so it did 2, and then it came back.
Yeah. तो ये भी एक ऑप्शन है मतलब.
Yeah, usually it's set to 5. Usually it's set to 5. So what we do in a real environment is we set it to 15 or 20. Because job network on your job is really good. It's not because there's a network team managing it all the time. So यहाँ पर देखो आप कहाँ गए हो? Over here it says fork means connection.
Yeah. Right.
5 servers at a time.
Number of hosts बोले ऐसा. Oh.
Okay, so
दस डालो 15 डालो
नहीं पूरा टायर पर से लग तभी से
okay, so you do hyphen F3. That means you could change it, or you could have hyphen like 10 connections simultaneously. Hyphen 15. So it's gonna do 15 connection in a group, and then it will finish, and then it goes automatically goes to next 15. Okay, that's what it does. Okay, that's it for today. We'll pick it up tomorrow, and then or maybe next week, and then we'll go from there. So I'm planning on doing a group class on Thursday and Friday of next week. Anybody available Thursday and Friday? You could join because I will have this open session with this group and other group I have, and then it's only for your own benefit, and then you could connect in there and then ask questions. It will be focused just like last time. You guys gonna be driving the class and bring the questions to the class.
What time?
The time is not set, so I'm gonna announce in the
Okay.
group, and then based on that, we'll do it. I prefer doing it early in the day and getting it out of the way, but we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
All right, so we'll end now, and then we'll pick it up next week, and then hopefully we'll finish Ansible only in one more day, and then after that we'll start setting up DNS and all that here. I think we are running almost a month behind, so we have to. It probably will go up until end of January. All right, if no questions, then I'll stop here and then we'll go from there.